Hi and welcome to this workout. This is focusing on the glutes, so all around your bum and lower back, inner thighs and all of that good stuff. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start lying down on our side and just propped up on your elbow. Have your legs in a nice straight line, your hips stacked one on top of the other. You can use this top hand, bring the fingertips down onto the floor to support you. So I want you to think about your waist when you're in this position and think about trying to just balance kind of on your shoulder and your hips, so you're not really collapsing your waistline down in towards the floor. Okay, we're going to start with just some leg lifts and lowers. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. With your toes pointed to begin with. So we're doing each exercise for approximately 1 minute, 50 seconds to a minute, and then kind of 10 seconds to transition into the next exercise. So a couple more seconds with the toes pointed, and then I want you to flex your foot, so you're pulling the toes in towards the shin, and just continue lifting and lowering. But as you're lifting, I want you to think that you're not really collapsing that waist down into the floor. So you don't need to lift the leg too high. Good, just a few more. And last one. Okay, good. Now rest that top leg over onto the floor. Keep that underneath leg straight and flex the foot. And then we start into lifting and lowering of the underneath leg, working up into that inner thigh muscle and giving this upper leg a little bit of a rest. Good, so lift just as high as you can and then a final little squeeze just to get a little bit more height. Keeping those toes pulled backwards in towards the shin. Good, keep going. Okay, and then for these last 10 seconds, I want you just to come up and do little pulses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Good, keep going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, so now roll over onto your other side, and we're going to repeat those 2 exercises on the other leg. So get yourself into a comfortable enough position. And then start into lifting and lowering that top leg. First off with the toes pointed. Remembering you're trying not to shift all the weight and really trying not to press your waist down into the floor. So you're always in full control of the upper half of your body as you're moving the lower half. Good, now flex the foot so your toes pull back in towards your shin. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Brilliant, keep going, just a few more, about another 10 seconds. Last one, no, good. Then rest that top leg over onto the floor and start lifting and lowering the underneath leg. Again with the foot flexed, so you're pulling the toes back in towards the shin. Good, and then remember we're lifting and then a little squeeze to lift a little higher. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Good, keep going. We're nearly ready to do the little 10-second pulse. Lift, lower. Okay, now come up and hold and do 10 seconds of pulsing. Good, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Good. Okay, now we're going to come onto our hands and knees and start into some donkey kicks or leg lifts. So you can be up on your hands like this, or if you have any wrist issues, feel free to come down onto your elbows. So either elbows under shoulders or hands under shoulders, whichever works best for you, okay? The exercise we're going to do is the donkey kick, lifting the leg up towards the ceiling with your toes pointed and keeping a bend in the knee. Okay, so 1 minute on the right leg. Ready, steady, go. Come up, pulse, 3, 2, 1, and lower, but don't touch it down. Then come up, pulse, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good, continue with that. Pulsing, 3, 2, 1, and lower, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Try not to bend the arms too much so you're not taking the weight of your body forwards. You're just holding your arms nice and steady and strong. 1, 2, 3. Good, nearly ready to change legs. Let's do 2 more. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Good, now swap over to your left leg. Big breath in. And then on your out breath, we start. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good, keep on going. Getting nice little squeezes of the glutes on these pulses. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Perfect. Good, you're over halfway, and lower, squeeze, 2, 3, and lower, 1, 2, 3, and lower. Good, just about 3 or 4 more. And lower, 1, 2, 3, and lower. 1 more, 1, 2, 3, and lower. Good, just take a wee moment, sit back onto your heels if that feels okay. Take the weight off your wrists. Okay, this next round, we're all going to come down onto our forearms. So if you run your forearms before, you just stay there. If you run your wrists, this time around we're going to go onto our forearms. So elbows underneath your shoulders this time. Then we're going to take the leg up again into that same position. Then we straighten the leg out, but trying to lift it, keep it up at this 45-degree angle. Then with a little flex of the foot, we bend and bring the heel in towards the bum. Okay, now continue with this. Straighten and bend. Straighten, lifting, lifting, squeezing, and then bend, heel to bum. Straighten, bend. Straighten, lifting, and bend. Straighten, lift, and bend. Good, keep on going. Trying to keep those arms and shoulders nice and strong. Good, you should feel this also on the left side, on the leg that is supporting you. And bend in, straighten, lift, and squeeze. Bend in, last one. And bend in. Good, put that right leg down. Swap sides now to your left leg. So take it up first. Then we straighten it out, pointing the toes. Flex the foot, bring the heel into the bum. Good, keep going. Straighten, lift, squeeze. And bend back in. Perfect, keep going. Straighten and squeeze. Bend back in. Straighten and squeeze. And bend. Squeeze and bend. Good. So when you're straightening the leg, keep trying to lift it up higher and squeeze into those glutes and hamstrings. Pull in. Good, nearly there. One more. And in. Perfect. Now again, just rest down onto your heels for a moment. Maybe even rest your forehead. down onto the floor and stretch yourself forwards. Good, okay, then bring your feet out to the side and push back so you're sitting down with your legs straight out in front of you. And then we're just going to slowly roll ourselves down onto the floor. Okay, bring your hands down onto the floor beside you. We're going to keep the left leg bent, foot flat on the floor, knee pointing up to the ceiling, and take the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, good. Now, on your inhale, we're going to lower that leg to the floor, and then as you breathe out, pull the leg back. Breathe in, lower, exhale, pull back. Good, keep on going. Breathe in, breathe out. Lovely. Keep going on this right leg. So you're getting a nice kind of stretch down the back of the leg as you pull it in towards you. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and lower. 1, 2, 3, and lower. Exhaling, and breathe in as you lower, then out. Good, last couple. Last one, pull it back, 1, 2, 3, and then bend that right knee. Take your left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, lower it down to the floor, and then exhale. Pull it back. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out. Breathe in and out. Good. Keep on going. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out. Pull back. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Out to lift. 1, 2, 3. Good. Keep going a few more. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. Lower. Last one. 3, 2, 1. And lower. Perfect. Okay, just a little bit of core stuff before we go into some bridge. So I want you to take both your legs straight up towards the ceiling, or as straight as you can manage. If you need a little bend in the knees, that's okay, you just bend them. But if you can, I want you to straighten the legs. Then lower them down towards the floor slightly. And then we're just going to crisscross the legs over each other. Right over left, left over right. Right over left, left over right. Good, keep on going. Taking them down towards the floor if you can. But don't worry if you can't, just keep them pointing up towards the ceiling if you need to. If you are able to lower the legs down, I want you to concentrate on not letting your midsection of your back arch up off the floor. Remember, the option is there to do this with bent knees if you need to. Good, just 1 or 2 more. Last one down. Remembering this lowering is optional. Okay, good, and rest. Hug the knees into your chest and take a moment just to breathe. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go into some nice shoulder bridge moves, okay? So you start off with your feet flat, knees pointing up towards the ceiling, and let's start off with our feet at this hip width distance apart, okay? So we're going to first start off just by lifting and lowering the hips up off the floor. We're going to try and get a nice little curve of the spine, so you feel each section of the spine lifting off the ground, 1 vertebra at a time, and then rolling back down each section of your spine again, okay? So take a breath in, and then on your exhale, tilt that pelvis backwards, and then peel your spine up off the floor, squeeze into those glutes, take a breath in at the top, and then breathe out, lower back down. Good, and just continue with that movement then at your own speed. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in and breathe out to lower. So fairly slow, but feel free to speed it up a little bit to make this a little bit more cardiovascular, if you prefer. And concentrate on breathing out on the lift up. And squeeze into those glutes when you're lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Good, one more. Alright, lovely. Now you're going to zigzag those feet out. So now your knees are pointing outwards slightly. Your toes are pointing out, heels pointing in. And then we just repeat this. Lifting and squeezing. You're going to feel this all around the outside of your glutes now. So we're working into different glute muscles. Squeeze, lift, and lower. Still trying to get that little rolling of the spine as you lift up. And then rolling back down again, feeling each vertebra lift off, and then feeling each vertebra reconnect back down. Good, nice squeezing, squeezing, coming up, coming down, last two, last one. Lift and squeeze, and then lower. Good. Okay, now I bring those feet back into hip width, and we're going to try some little leg straightens as well. Okay, so again, take your breath in, and then on your exhale, tilt and lift the spine up off the floor. Now, if you can, I want you to hold the hips in this upper position, and then we just kick out the right leg, and lower, then kick out the left, and lower. Squeezing into the glutes and not letting your hips drop down. So keep pressing them up towards the ceiling. You can even put your hands in lightly underneath your bum as a little reminder to not let your hips and glutes lower down towards the floor. Now if this gets too much, you just simply lower your spine back down again and continue with the ordinary lift and lowers that we did at the start of this little sequence. Good, a few more. One leg straightening, then the other. Good, one more each side. Lovely, and then roll back down. Just give the knees a little hug in. Then just hold on to your right leg, stretch out your left leg along the floor, and then pull that right leg across the body and kind of direct it back upwards so you feel the lovely stretch all around the outside of the glutes and the hip on the right side. That's your workout finished, your Glute Express workout finished. So now you have a few workouts. Feel free to kind of put them together. Swap over now to your left leg, so right leg is straightened out, and then bend your left knee in, start to direct it across over the body and upward, backwards towards the opposite shoulder. So yeah, feel free to maybe put the metabolism boost followed by this glute workout or followed by the arm workout, or add them on to something else that you're doing during the day. Good. And then just maybe while you're on your mat, enjoy a couple of nice deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, nice and slowly. And one more lovely big deep breath in. And slow deep breath out. Excellent, and that's your workout finished. Go enjoy the rest of your day.